Hey guys, welcome back to my video. Happy April to you. I hope everyone is doing well. First of all, I want to thank all the frontline heroes for all of their sacrifices during this time to keep us safe. And in the past couple of weeks, I've been calling many of my clients, friends, just to check up on them. And I'm very happy to hear that for the most part, everyone is adjusting to the new reality very well. They're getting used to the new routines and such. And usually during these phone calls, by the end of it, we end up talking a little bit about real estate and what's happening. So I thought I would take this opportunity to make this video just to highlight some of the information that just got published last week by TRREB. They just put out their March 2020 report. So some interesting information I can share, and also I wanted to talk about what has happened and where do we see ourselves going for the next couple of months. So let's get right to it. First and foremost, we're in an unusual time right now. And so what TRREB has done is they actually divided the March data into two parts. So the first part would be data that pertain to March 1st to March 14th, and then they have a separate data set that pertains to March 15th till the end of March. And if you remember, middle of March was when Ontario sort of goes into a suspension lockdown, not a total lockdown, but there were many suggestions that business shouldn't be open, should close. So that was kind of a turning point. So I wanted to take a quick look at the overall month of data, and then we'll compare the first half with the second half. So if we look at the data set, we can see that the March sales were largely driven by the first couple of weeks of the sales in March, which we had about 4,600 transactions in the first 14 days of March. That represented about 60% of all the sales that happened in March. And if we compare year to year, the first 14 days of March 2019 compared to the first 14 days of March 2020, we saw a whopping 50% increase in number of transactions. Now, if we look at the numbers for post-COVID-19, which is the second half of March, we saw that the number of transactions fell to about 3,400. That represented about 30% decrease from the first half of March. And we look at the whole March, the average home price was about $902,000. But if we look at comparing just the first half versus the second half, the average home price actually went down about 4.5% to about $862,000. But that number, it's still about 10% more than the average home price for March of 2019. So we're still on an uptrend, but as you can see, the gain that we had in January, February, and early March have stopped and have been coming down a little bit. So what does this all mean? Well, I think we have to look at the March data in two ways. Any gain, any momentum that we've had since the beginning of the year up until the first couple of weeks of March, I think that's history. That's all gone now, because we know that the virus has really turned the world upside down. And when we do get out of the pandemic, a lot of jobs, a lot of businesses will have been closed for a long period. Jobs will have been lost, so the economy won't be the same. And how long we are going to be in this shutdown for also determines what's going to happen with the real estate market. And so, we can largely ignore the first half of March. As far as the second half of March goes, we have to sort of take a cautionary look at the information. That's because on March 22nd, Government of Ontario actually released a list of essential businesses that were still allowed to open, and because real estate agent services were on that list, a lot of agents, because they work out of their office, so they were still going about their business as usual. They were doing showings, they were taking on new listings, and they were doing open houses. But on by April 3rd, Ontario government released a updated essential business list. Although real estate services, it's still on that list, on the April 3rd list. However, there came stipulations. The new stipulations are that agents are not allowed to do open houses anymore. No, they highly discourage any face-to-face interactions, and they highly discourage any non-essential meetings. So if your client is not in a hurry to buy, don't go out, don't meet them, and don't do showings. So with the new directive, I think sales week to week is going to slowly decline over the next couple of months. My prediction is that month of April, the number of sales could be down as much as 50% compared to March of 2020, and the average home price, we should see a drop of about 8 to 10% compared to month of March. Now that also largely depends on how motivated, how urgent the buyers and sellers are these days. If people are still going out buying houses or putting their house up for sale, they are probably the sellers that either bought or sold back in February, and they need to sell or buy now. The ones that can wait are going to sit on the sideline, wait till this all blows over before they get back into the market. Well, I hope I'm wrong with my prediction. We will find out once we get the April data, and I'll be back here early May to give you an update once we can compare April to March. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please consider forwarding to your friend. As always, I am available for any questions or comments. My contact information is going to be at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is keeping safe. Stay home. Don't go outside unless you absolutely need to. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye for now.